It's going sideways.
I think I finally found out why the previous owner sold this Rover P4 so cheap. When the previous owner finally accepted my £2,700 offer, I thought about myself a bargain, but it turns out it wasn't quite that simple. So far, the gearbox has absolutely no oil in it and it doesn't seem to engage a reverse. Then I had to rebuild the entire differential. Instead of proper seals in the rear axle, it had a sponge stuffed inside it, and that sponge was there for a reason. Because to replace the seals properly, we need a special tool, a tool that we don't have, and these half shafts are incredibly fragile. So, if we break one trying to remove the bearings, this Rover P4 is about to become a lot more expensive than expected. And of course, take a lot more time to make it roadworthy. So, better get to work.
Well, what we don't know is how to remove the hub bearing, because apparently it requires a special tool that we don't have.
I checked with the Rover P4 Guild and they were very helpful. They sent me a few pictures and a drawing from the original workshop manual showing exactly how the tool is supposed to look. But they advised me to take the half shafts to a specialist because it's a very difficult repair and things can go wrong very easily. Still, we're going to give it a try, but first,
What I'll try to do is to remove everything from the backing plate. One. Well, I think we're gonna need another. Woo-wee, so I finished cleaning.
brakes are very important. So let's have a look at the slave cylinders, and judging by how they look, they definitely need at least new seals. But now let's see if the cylinders themselves can still be used or if I need new ones as well.
So, your one seized and one.
Well, I think you can see that it has rust on here.
Usually you can restore brake cylinders using a honing tool, but I don't have one small enough to fit these cylinders, so I'm going to improvise using a drill and some 400 grit sandpaper.
Oh, well. I think it's good.
So I repeated the process using some 800 grit sandpaper for a smoother finish, and then did the same with the rest of the slave cylinders.
Well, the bad news is it's raining, but the good news is we have the material to reinforce this so we can pull it out. So we have two of this. I'm gonna try to make a tool. One piece is gonna come on this side and one on this side.
This is the big Mama Lulabelle of all drills.
Perfect! Now we just need to drill the holes and to make another one.
It's 122.8. Get 6 bolts.
We just need to make the second one now. Yeah, here they are. Minions. I'm taking a break because I did notice a few drops of oil leaking. I've cleaned it now and tried to tighten it up a little bit, but you can still see oil here.
So I removed the drain plug and drained the oil, but then Mother Nature decided to give me a hard time.
It's very windy, and if I take this, it will just splash everywhere. It's going everywhere. Okay, I'll go and check. I'll be back. Okay. is any elegant way of doing this, so I apologize. I believe the culprit is this fiber washer.
So I apply some PTFE sealant paste, put the plug back in, refill the oil, and problem solved.
52.
Now let's make our own special tool.
Alright, so this is the reinforcement. Next what we need to do is, because we're gonna need to use this clamp, we cut that material, so we're gonna extend the arms so it actually reach here.
Well, here it is.
Now whether that's going to stretch too much, I don't know.
And here is the tool. We're gonna try to cut this a little bit. The jaws. Jaw.
We'll have to change the jaws, dear.
That's the one. This is risky. We're gonna try to cut the sleeve now. So this is how far we're gonna get, because we don't want to touch the shaft. Alright guys, this is it. All done for this moment. So let's hope we'll be able to take this off without breaking anything. Yeah, quite tricky.
Let's just hope our tool is good enough to remove these bearings without damaging the half shafts. We don't know how long the sponge was inside the drum, nor how much the previous owner drove the car in this condition. Let's do this.
Something's coming off.
Yes! Victory!
But this was the near side shaft, where the seal was still in good condition and there was no sponge inside the drum.
That was complicated. Oh my god.
Bubble truth, that was so thin.
Yeah, so
Half
we
of
did
it was
good.
still on.
Well, that was intense. Should we do the other one?
Drop the punishment there.
Alright, so now all we need to do is to repeat what we've done already on the other hub bearing. So let's do this. Okay.
But that's easier said than done because things are about to get complicated. There's so much force involved that our tool started twisting at the top, so we're going to have to think of something else.
So our magic tool, one leg, whatever it's called, starts to bend.
It's going sideways.
Yep, bent. Okay, so in order to try to keep it straight, we're gonna put a tube.
A tube just like the original tool had. But it still won't come off, and that tube isn't good enough.
We melted this with the sleeve and still won't come out, so no wonder he put a sponge in.
There's only one thing left to do. Let's upgrade the tool.
So what we're trying to do with this, we're gonna fit it in here, and this will go on here, and this will prevent it from this thing to move around. Okay, let's try again.
We really terrorized the neighbors with the pneumatic gun. I think we struggled for at least half an hour. At this point, I honestly thought something was going to snap. But then... After all that hard work, our perseverance finally paid off, and our tool did its job without causing any damage.
Careful, maybe. Hot, 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 hot. Look at the mark on this side. Do you see that? How stuck was like welded. Do you see that? Look, the sleeve, where was left of it.
Well, we've done that, but that doesn't mean the hard work is over.
So next we're gonna try to take the bearing out. Pressure at all. Oh, so this is the bit with the seal, and that's the bearing.
That bearing hardly went in there.
We have the bearing, we have the seal. I will clean this.
I'm going to clean and paint the backing plate now because once the new bearing is in, we'll need to move quite quickly to reassemble everything. You'll see why in a second.
While I wait for the paint to dry, I wanted to see if I can fit the Propshaft.
But first, we're going to rethread this because the threads were damaged.
Nice. Here. The breather, I will take it off and clean it. Oh, we have a new bar. So what we're trying to do now, it's a tool to be able to push the bearing in. We made this on the lathe.
Now we're once again using whatever we can find around the workshop to build a second special tool.
That's only got to go as far as there.
After removing the old bearing, we put the hub housing in the oven and the new bearing in the freezer.
Who tried the sausages? Romanians. Try it, they're good. Anyway, we have the bearing and the sleeve.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely. Well, the hub was in the heat and it was like, life is good. And the bearing was, I'm cold.
Very well put there.
Differential thermal expansion. Who needs a press? I need to put this in the freezer next. Ha! Perfect. We're waiting for the temperature to do its magic.
Let's feed the Diff.
Before I put the last piece of the Propshaft, this bit. This was quite grubby, so we just took it out.
After a proper clean, we apply grease and feed it back onto the car. Did you see that spanner attacking me?
Yes. I think I've done it quite well.
I think it did quite well.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have the Diff on. And the Propshaft. Yay!
I think we deserve a cold beer, bearing.
I remember how it also came, so that goes there.
Yeah.
The plate goes on there.
For this tool, we didn't have any design to follow, so it was entirely our own creation. Let's hope it works.
It's good.
Where's the tube?
Sizzling.
And it worked.
Now that was intense.
We repeated the same steps for the other half shaft and then...
Well, so we just fitted the half shafts just to see if they go in here, and they do. Next, I will start to assemble the brakes. Okay. we're taking cover from the rain, and we're gonna do these bits next. These are the brakes.
I've cleaned them, applied copper grease wherever there's metal on metal contact and rubber grease where the seals go. And now they're ready to be fitted back onto the car. But first...
Next step, I think, will be fitting the brakes.
I just hope that all this work will reduce the transmission backlash. The minimum acceptable was around 5 and mine was closer to 10.
So we're going to find this material, so we made it out of aluminum on the lathe. So now we can fit the brakes.
Because we kept fitting and removing the half shaft, I got a bit confused about which one was offside and which one is near side, but we sorted in the end.
Next, it's time to fit the drums. What we need to do now is to adjust the brake shoes in order for the drum to get in here. Basically what we try to do is for this gap to be the same all around. The wheel cylinder fixing nuts, one turn slack so that the cylinder is free to float. Let's check the transmission backlash again.
This is the moment of truth. Let's hope the transmission backlash is now acceptable.
So now we have a backlash of, they say 5 is minimum. If I do just like that, this doesn't really move. Of course, bear in mind that in the Diff we actually didn't replace the crown, the pinion, and the sun and planet. So, you know what? I think it's good enough.
That was a lot more work than expected, but I think we can finally almost call Auntie roadworthy again. Next time, all that should be left is a full service, and unless this car decides to surprise us one more time, we might finally be able to take it out for its first drive. So make sure you subscribe because this journey is only getting started.
Who's smartest give up first?
Less drama, more push. Well done.